Building somatic awareness. The intention of this audio is to build somatic intelligence so that you can be more in tune with your body, noticing the places where movement is constricted that call for release of connective tissue, fascia, and muscles, and also the areas that feel slackened, where building strength can help bring in more balance. Begin on your back. Allow your entire body to soften and release toward the floor for 5 full breaths. Place your fingers on the bony points at the front of your pelvis. Flex the right foot by pointing your toes toward your body and pressing your right heel away from your body. Keep the right leg on the floor as you release the right heel and alternate to the other side, flexing the left foot and then pressing the heel away from you and then releasing it back. Notice your breath. Move with your breath, inhaling as you slide the heel down, extending through your Achilles tendon, calf, and hamstring, exhaling as you release your heel. Continue to alternate side to side, slowing the movement down so that it follows the breath. The slower you do these movements, the more internal body awareness or somatic awareness will activate. Notice how the sitting bone of your extended leg slides down with the heel. Your fingertips are still on the bony points of your pelvis. Notice how they also slide down with the heel, and the opposite pelvis slides up slightly. Continue alternating side to side. Notice how this movement replicates the motion of walking, like zero gravity walking. Notice the difference between the two sides. Does one feel smoother than the other? What happens on the left when you move the right? And what happens on the right when you move the left? If you notice constriction on one side, slow down the movement and activate your breath. Draw the breath into the tension area as you move slowly. See if you can notice the point at which the constriction begins and move even slower with the breath to help facilitate release. Repeat this movement alternating between left and right legs 15 to 20 times. You're probably over halfway having done that by now. So just a few more times on each side. Staying with your breath. When you're done, pause. What do you notice? Tingling sensations? What's the quality of your breath? Where do you feel openness? Where is there constriction? Can you hold it all in your awareness without needing to change or fix or move, and just be with what you are noticing. Remain on the floor on your back. This next movement, practice, brings fluidity and ease of motion into your hip sockets. In the first part of the practice all of it slowly, focusing on the movement of your hip socket by sensing and feeling the circular fluidity in your hip socket. So on your back still, externally rotate your upper leg in the hip socket. So your knee will slide out to the right on your right leg, and your inner thigh then will be facing toward the ceiling. So draw your right leg up into a tree pose shape by placing the sole of the right foot at the inside of the ankle bone of the left leg. Slide the sole of the right foot up the inside of the left leg, keeping the foot on the floor and that knee out to the side as close as possible. So when your legs are straight, the top, and you're lying on your back, the top of your upper leg will be pointing the ceiling, but as you slide that foot up the inside of the leg, the inner thigh opens toward the ceiling, and the knee, that right knee, slides out to the side. So stay on the right side and repeat this movement about 5 times, sliding that right sole of your foot up and down the inside of the left leg. And as you move, notice your breath and use the breath to expand into your hip and leg. Then repeat the same movement on the other side, slowly and deliberately, softly, with a sense of care rather than force. So you're on the left side now, and notice where there is constriction or limitation. Would this area benefit from increased flexibility or strength? So notice, is there a dullness or a sense of slack or of being too loose and flexible and really flexible? That's where it would be beneficial for strength and strength building. But since our two sides work in tandem, a combination of flexibility training and strength building is the most beneficial for our whole body. Building somatic awareness will help you understand which areas need strength building and which need flexibility training. So at the end of your second side, just slide the heel back down to the left leg and turn your attention back toward the right side again. In this next exercise, it takes the hip socket into a half moon rotation. So just notice your hip socket as you do the practice. So again, slide your right leg out to the side as we did in the first rendition of this pose. Then you're going to press the right foot into the floor so the right knee turns toward the ceiling, and then continue to arc the knee over to the left side of your body so that the knee and hip are moving to the left. So your outer right hip will lift off the floor. Then, pressing through the right heel, slide the right foot back out long. So your foot should stay in contact with the floor for the entire movement. And the awareness you want to feel here is around that semicircular movement of the hip socket. So you want to alternate this movement between sides. So repeat on the left side. So sliding that left leg up, the left foot up the inside of the right leg, and as the knee goes out, plant the left foot, arc the knee over to the right side of the body, outer hip lifts off the floor, press the left heel press into the left heel now. So the knee comes back up, and slide the foot out long. And then just alternate, right and then left. So go back to the right. So with each of these movements, you're hydrating that joint capsule. So really drawing the breath into the joint, into that ball and socket joint. Visualize the synovial fluid irrigating and oiling your hip joint. And comparing these two sides as you move. Where you detect constriction, flexibility training is needed. Where you detect looseness or slackening, strength building is needed. And this information can help you make choices, in your everyday when you're exercising or doing yoga or doing how you stand, how you walk. This information you're collecting can inform you about what exercises you do and how to do them, how you're walking, standing, sitting. If the hip socket moves easily and loosely, then building strength includes practices that secure the hip in the hip socket. And where there is constriction and limitation, you want to bring in more flexibility and practices that build mobility. So when you're finished doing it a few times on each side, pause with your legs long and take your body through the compass by noticing your breath. Any changes in depth or quality? Then explore this time asking, what is softer? What is longer? What is more open? And what is wider? In the next breath, roll over onto your side. Push yourself slowly up to sitting. And then we'll do one more. So have a stack of books in front of you or sit in a way that you're facing the seat of a chair. And sit with your legs crisscross so that your knees are over your ankles rather than tucked up underneath your legs. And reach up through your fingertips, reach your fingers toward the ceiling, lengthen the sides of your body and under your arms, and keep reaching as you fold forward. Rest your forehead comfortably on the chair of the seat or a stack of books or the floor, whatever is most comfortable and available to you. There should be no strain. You should be able to breathe fully without tension. So breathe into the base of your spine. Spread your sacrum wide. And imagine it fanning open like peacock feathers. Exhale from the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. And then again, breathe all the way down into the base of your spine. Fan open the triangular-shaped sacrum at the base of your spine that connects your two pelvic girdles. Exhale from your lower spine, your middle spine, and your upper spine. Lightly flex your feet. It means pulling the toes back. Feel your buttocks muscles spread. Continue to inhale and exhale, holding this pose for 2 minutes. So in this audio, we won't hold it for that long, but if you start to practice it more, this is a really good one that you can do before bed or at the end of the day or when you've been sitting a long time. And you get the most benefit from this if you hold the pose, not your breath, but the pose for 2 to 3 minutes. If you feel any constriction or pain, ease up. So you can place a stack of books or blankets under each knee for support. You want to feel supported, not like you're straining in any way. Or you can lift your head up a little more. You may want to stack a blanket on the seat of a chair if the chair still feels too low. Because you don't want any strain in your neck or head or upper body, because we're really trying to open up the glutes, the sacrum, the pelvis area. So switch your legs. If you want to be sure and do this on both sides. So switch your legs so that the other leg is in front. Lift your arms up again, reach through the fingertips, exhale forward, lengthening as you fold. Breathe into your tail feathers, opening them wide. And again, exhale up the spine, lower, middle, and upper spine. And then again, breathe in one more time, down the spine, all the way into the opening of the fan at the base of the spine, and then exhaling lower spine, exhaling middle spine, exhaling upper spine, softening the shoulders. And then gently lift your head, set your hands in your lap, and notice. Explore the experience you just had. Compare your hip joints. Explore the hamstrings. Compare the hip joints, the hamstrings, and each side of your pelvis. Explore your glutes, inner and outer legs, and feet. Savor what you are noticing, and when you notice you are wandering, return. Holding your entire experience in your